Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. Boy, is it a tough time to be a startup. On the one hand, AI feels so full of possibility. We are in a transition point between two totally different paradigms, and that's always the best, most opportune time to build something big and new. However, whereas in the past, you could kind of wave off the 800-pound gorillas in the room of the former incumbents as too lumbering and slow-moving, in the case of AI, startups are dealing not only with the Mag 7 type competitors, but with the foundation model companies, specifically OpenAI and Anthropic, increasingly seeming to recognize that it really matters to own the relationship with their customers through the application layer. The latest example of that is Anthropic turning Claude into a financial analyst. Now, this is an example of Anthropic following a use case that they're seeing. Many people are starting to turn to LLMs to provide market analysis, or for an easy way to run calculations like price to earnings that enable them to evaluate stocks. Perplexity has already leaned into this trend by making financial analysts a core part of recent releases, but Anthropic is taking the idea a step further. Rather than a consumer-facing product, Claude for Financial Services is a specifically designed version of their enterprise subscription. It includes built-in MCP support for major data providers and financial industry platforms, making it their first vertical product, and definitely creating a template for them to do this for other industries and areas. Anthropic suggests that the model can speed up due diligence and research, generate financial models with full audit trails, and help with portfolio management and benchmarking. It's also clearly a test for Anthropic to see how big the market is for industry-specific platforms. Said Jonathan Pelosi, the head of industry for financial services at Anthropic, the company's models were already particularly well suited for financial workloads, and we've been tailoring them to get better and better. Interestingly, he continued, unlike some competitors in the space who built a consumer app that became a sensation, or they built these new video generators or meme generators, that's just never our focus. We are enterprise first, so our models perform best in class against complicated enterprise workloads, which means complicated qualitative analysis and complex data extraction for the financial services industry at scale. Now, I don't know how much this is Pelosi just speaking on his own turn, or whether this is actually the new narrative coming out of Anthropic, but to the extent that it's the latter, that would be pretty interesting to me. It's not totally new for Anthropic to be leaning into their enterprise use case, but putting it so bluntly and clearly would be a bit of a shift that suggests that that's where they think their opportunity lies. Ultimately, the fingerprints of verticalized applications from the foundation model companies is all over this. Said Pelosi, think of it as an out-of-the-box solution that's easily configurable for the Bridgewaters or the Norwegian sovereign wealth funds of the world, versus the alternative where they cobble this thing together on their own. Next up, Google has flipped the AI switch on Google Discover, accelerating their push towards generated content. Google Discover is the lightweight news feed inside the company's mobile products. Where it previously served a new headline and a link to the original source, Google will now present an AI summary of major news items. Users will see the logos of multiple news sources in the top left-hand corner of the card if they want to read more, but this is still very different than the previous model. Now, the change is still early in its US rollout, but Google confirmed that this is a proper launch and not a test. Earlier this week, The Economist picked up the story of Google's AI features driving web traffic down. They cited statistics from SimilarWeb that showed global web traffic is down by 15% year on year, and zero-click news searches had grown from 56 to 69%. The headline declared, AI is killing the web. Can anything save it? Next up, an update on a story that we've been following. Former OpenAI CTO Mira Murati's Thinking Machines Labs has officially closed their seed round at a $12 billion valuation. Mira has famously been raising money without a product or detailed public roadmap, instead selling investors on talent, presenting a team filled with researchers drawn from the leading AI labs. The round raised $2 billion and appeared to get a valuation bump from the rumors of a $10 billion price tag last month. More likely the reports had the number right, but we're just confused about whether that $10 billion valuation was pre-money or post-money. Andreessen Horowitz led the investment with participation from NVIDIA, Excel, ServiceNow, Cisco, AMD, and Jane Street. One of the largest seed rounds in Silicon Valley history, this demonstrates that AI talent is clearly the hottest commodity in the current venture environment. Investors were even willing to forego board seats and grant Murati a controlling vote in order to close the deal. Upon the announcement, Mira tweeted, Thinking Machines Lab exists to empower humanity through advancing collaborative general intelligence. We're building multimodal AI that works with how you naturally interact with the world, through conversation, through sight, through the messy ways we collaborate. We're excited that in the next couple of months, we'll be able to share our first product, which will include a significant open source component and be useful for researchers and startups developing custom models. Soon, we'll also share our best science to help the research community better understand frontier AI systems. So ultimately, we still don't really know what they're doing, but it is notable that in the time since that deal has come together, Meta has gone on its full-on assault on the talent space. It appears that 2 more extremely senior researchers at OpenAI are now going over to Meta as well. So this competition gets nothing but more and more fierce. For now, though, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief Headlines edition. Next up, the main episode.